What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Today I have for you Kavalan Sherry Solist. This is a single cask strength. All right. It's different than the sample that I reviewed. So this is what the bottle looks like. All right. Like I said, it's a single malt from Taiwan. All right. And different than the sample I did because the sample I did is sherry oak. This is sherry cask. This is the Solist. The other one was just a regular expression. They use special bottles, or sorry, special casks for this particular one that they release periodically. This one is bottled in 2015, May 6th, and it was barreled in either 2010 or 2009. I think it's 2010 because it's S10, and that usually tells you roughly how old it is. So that means that this is about 5 years old, just over 5 years old. Okay, it's 57.8%, and as you can tell, I've had some experience with this bottle. I did pour this out for a couple of whiskey reviewers, Bubba and the Beard. Super cool guys. They sent me the stuff that I showed you in my last video. I'm also wearing my Trenny and C May Contain Scotch t-shirt. You can buy that on their websites. I wanted to talk about a couple things before I get started here today. Quick shout outs. I wrote it all down. Alright. Shout out to Mike from DIY on YouTube. He and I collaborated on a video, a do-it-yourself video. He has about 40,000 or more subscribers, doing really, really well for himself. All right. He has a ton of videos, do-it-yourself type videos, so I highly recommend you check him out. Super, super cool guy. DIY is the name of the YouTube channel. Paul, one of my subscribers, we've met at a few Macallan functions. He's a photographer for Macallan every once in a while, but he's also a paramedic. Super cool guy. He recently purchased a hat, gave me a sample of Yamazaki 12-year-old, which was excellent. So thank you, Paul. Also, want to give a quick shout out to Chad from Trinidad. All right, he wanted to send me a rum. We had a chat about it. Super awesome dude. Just wanted to say thank you. All right. About Kavalan Sherry Solist. All right. So this is aged in 500-liter sherry barrels. It's American oak. Okay. It starts the American oak contained sherry wine that was part of a Solera type system for 20 years. Then they empty that Solera style sherry and pour in 20-year-old Oloroso Sherry. Okay. 20-year-old Oloroso Sherry is used to season the barrels further for another period of time. Then they either bottle or let it evaporate. I'm not exactly sure. I'm assuming they bottle it since it's 20-year-old sherry, and they send those casks to Kavalan. So I'm assuming the major difference between the Solist and the sherry oak at cask strength is the type of barrels and the treatment of the barrels that they use for it. Okay, so after it's sent to Kavalan, the Solist can be anywhere from 5 to 7 years old. If I'm reading this correctly, it's just over 5. And like I said, I could be wrong, but that's how I've understood it. There's a sticker at the back that tells you when it was stamped, which is 2015, like I said. And then I'll give you guys a look at the code, and you guys can tell me if you know how old this is. So 2015 is bottled, and then the code will give you an indication. I think that S10 means 2010 it was barreled. It's 57.8%. I'm gonna taste it and smell it straight, and then I'm gonna add some water. Okay. Okay, so immediately on the nose, as you can see, first of all, this is unchill filtered, no added color. It's super dark. I don't have a clear white sheet of paper, but you guys get the idea. That is a very, very dark whiskey. Okay. The legs on this is absolutely crazy, which means it's probably very oily. Okay, on the nose, hit with plums, dried figs, dried raisins. Get some black licorice in there. Some canned cherries as well. Super, super sweet on the nose. And it does not smell like it's 57.8%. So it tastes strong, comes in hot, super thick. You get that black licorice, almost like a borderline Sambuca type taste. Very much like a liqueur. As your palate starts to acclimate a little bit, you pick up the raisins, sweet dark fruits, some molasses even. Okay. It's very, very nice. And add some water to this. Okay, you probably want to get it to around 46%. You don't have to, but a couple of drops of water. That was probably about 5 drops of water, maybe a little less. I want to quickly share with you, I got a bottle of Balblair 1990. This is the second release. Okay, I'll give you guys a look at that. All right, a friend of mine was able to acquire this for me. All right, Peter actually is his name. He's a subscriber as well. Super, super cool guy. He's involved in all the chats in the comment section on many of our channels. Okay, many of the whiskey reviewers know who Peter is. He's a super nice guy, and I'm happy to call him a friend, and he was able to pick that up for me, and I appreciate it quite a bit. Okay, so also, before I forget, Sim from Sierra Springs, super cool guy, packaged for my friend who was traveling, 4 bottles of Glendronach 19-year-old Madeira finish. I'm super stoked to get that. My friend brought it home. He lives in Toronto. We're gonna meet up shortly so I can pick up my bottles, but really, really nice guy. Sierra Springs is a great store. You guys should definitely check it out if you live in Alberta. My friend travels there quite frequently, so I'm lucky enough to be able to shop at that store, and I've become friends with Sim, who owns the store, over the process, all right? Or he's one of the owners, or one of the managers. So, super cool guy. I know I gave a lot of shout outs today, but back to this whiskey. Okay, the water definitely opens it up. It's a little less syrupy on the nose. More fruity. Get more cinnamon now. There's some like Asian spices to this as well. It's very almost like a tarragon type smell, but not quite. Or like a cumin even. But even though those are a bit savory, those types of spices, they still complement this whiskey really well. And And you do get that cinnamon pulling through, and that brown sugar, more towards brown sugar now than it was molasses before without the water. Sweeter upon arrival, still coating the mouth. Still get a touch of that black licorice, but it's a nice taste of that black licorice. You get fruit, raisins, you get cinnamon. Really, really nice stuff. This one I think you can play around with when it comes to water. I could probably add a couple more drops. Like I said, it's cask strength at 57.8%. Although it's probably about 5 to 7 years old, I'm not exactly sure. It tastes much older. It does not taste like it's 5 to 7 years old. A 5 to 7 year old Scotch would not taste like this, in my opinion. Okay, it definitely strips the barrel of its color and its flavoring. What I wanted to add actually is the color of this bottle is rumored to be obtained after only 1 month. So despite being in the barrel for whatever 5 to 7 years, it gets that color only after 1 month. So that's pretty, I don't know if that has anything to do with the climate, Taiwan being a subtropical climate, but that's pretty cool in my opinion. Mark. I'm gonna have to give this. Now, each one of the Kavalans are different. I'm gonna give this one an A-. Alright, it's good stuff. It's definitely for those who really like a sherry bomb, and that's exactly what this is a sherry bomb. Okay, if you're not overly interested in sherry, then this is probably not for you. Okay, you might want to lean towards something like the Vino Barrique or the ex-bourbon. They have several options out there for Kavalan. So for me, this is an A-. The Vino Barrique was an A+. All right, and you guys can find that video below somewhere. All right, but really good stuff. I still really, really like it. For the price, I would say if you could try it at a bar, I recommend you try it at a bar first. But it's still super, super good. Okay, so if you like sherry bombs, this will probably be for you. And I have heard that some of the sherry solists are absolutely remarkable. Okay, the same guy has had 4 or 5 Surge from the Whisky Fund, online, whiskyfund.com. He gave some of them 90s and then others as low as 78. So it is kind of a hit or miss type of thing. It would be nice if the store that you're buying from has a batch of the exact same, and then you can maybe buy a shot of it to taste it first to realize or to know for sure whether you're gonna like it. Okay, I probably would taste one before I decided to buy another Kavalan Sherry Solist, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. This was consumed within, I don't know, 2 weeks. I had friends over, they've tried it. I shared this with a couple of people, like sample wise. So it's still very nice stuff, but it's, I guess my expectations were a bit higher for it. So I'm gonna stick with my A-. All right, still really, really good stuff. In the next coming days, I have 4 Rows single barrel. This one's bottled at 58.3%. Excellent stuff. I can't wait to review that one. All right. I also have Kavalan 17 that I've opened. Really, really nice stuff as well. Okay. I'm not gonna share. I wrote down basically a list of what I plan to review. I'm not gonna share it because it changes. All right. But I definitely can say that the Highland Park Dark Origins will most likely be next. Okay, so look for that in the next video. Cheers, guys.